All right, Libra, this is your February 2021 Love Taroscope. I'm Ryan with Arrows of Love. Welcome back to my channel. First and foremost, if you like these videos and would like to see more of them, please click that like button and subscribe. It helps the channel and it's very much appreciated from me. All right, Libra, so let's review what's happening in the sky and then we're going to get to the cards. It's going to be fairly short because there is a concentrated amount of energy, 6 planets, going to be in your 5th house, and that's Aquarius. Aquarius is 5 signs past Libra. The 5th house is all about romance, children, fun and games, sports, pleasure, and it's also karmic credit. It's a great house. The 5th house is ruled by the sun, so it's a great place to be. Now, the thing is with this, the sun is at its full position in Aquarius. So while you might want to be enjoying all these things, fun and games, romance, children, things might be a little bit in the dumps. So it kind of just depends on the way it shakes out in your personal chart right now. And then, like I said, this is past life credit. So this is things that you come back to you based on what you've done in previous lives. So it can be extremely benefic. 6 planets, though, sitting in Aquarius. Jupiter, which is the greater benefic. Saturn is going to be there for a few years, Taskmaster Saturn. Mercury, which is also retrograde. Mercury is retrograding through Aquarius from January 30th through February 20th. So right now we're in the middle of a retrograde cycle. And always remember this with Mercury retrograde, it's time to readjust, review, and redo. So it's slow down, watch your communication. Mercury rules communication, watch your text messages, short distance travel and learning. So accidents happen during this time. Just take your time. You don't need to rush. Communication might be a little bit off during this time. Venus just entered into Aquarius on February 1st. I'm doing this video on February 2nd. So Venus in Aquarius. Aquarius tends to be a little bit detached in love, and it also rules friends and group associations. So think, friends might come back that you haven't heard from in quite some time. This is also, a time to think about romance in terms of friendship. So, putting love into friendship again, or friendship into love, whichever way you want to put it. It's not so much about passion, it's more about the friendship level with your partners. And the sun's going to be there, and then the moon is going to enter into Aquarius on February 10th. It's going to be there for 2.5 days about until the 12th. When it's going to cross over the sun. That's the new moon period, and I'll get to that, but the new moon's going to be a big one, this probably the most important one of the entire year. February 6th, this is the first date I want you to pay attention to. Venus, which just entered into Aquarius, is going to conjoin with Taskmaster Saturn and make a square over to Uranus. So Saturn and Uranus are the co-rulers of Aquarius. And we'll get more to that. But when Venus conjoins with Saturn, this is when there could be some tough lessons in love. There could be falling away of partnerships. It's kind of a reality check, so to speak. On the flip side of that, this could also be a time of commitment in love because Saturn rules structures and long-term relationships, the economy, government. So, and Venus also has an element of money and popularity, attractiveness. So, it kind of depends on which way this goes. So, it very well could be a time of disciplined, responsible love. But when Venus also is making an aspect over to Uranus, it's an amorphous love. It's eroticism. It's things that are kind of out of the ordinary and not necessarily a normal relationship. It can be likened to kind of a polyamorous relationship. I'm not saying that you're going to have one, but I'm just saying it's out of ordinary. So you might be very attracted to someone if you're single during this time, if you're looking to rekindle the flame. I don't know, maybe go get some toys or something. There's something here with Uranus and Venus, and it's gonna be something unusual, and it's gonna turn people on. So just know that. But there's also this weird stern quality with Saturn. So, this could go either way. The good news is that Venus is going to be making a sextile over to Chiron, which is the wounded healer. So Chiron sits in between Saturn and Uranus in the sky. It's an asteroid Sextiles are opportunities, so whenever Venus is making an aspect to Chiron, this is an opportunity to heal something in relationships and love, business. There's a healing aspect to this date. This is February 6th. The other day I want you to pay attention to, and I mentioned this, is the new moon on February 11th. This is when the moon crosses over the sun or aligns with the sun. This is the new lunar cycle. This is a time to plant new seeds for what it is you want over the next 30 days. So think about that. And the other thing that's going to happen on February 11th is Venus is going to conjoin with Jupiter. This is extremely, it's awesome for relationships, but because both of these are the benefics of the sky. Venus is the lesser benefic, Jupiter is the greater benefic. When the two conjoin, they mix energies, and it's just like kind of over the top. It's extravagant in love. It could be all of the good feels, all of the good food, just like feeling great about the future, very passionate. The one caveat about this particular day is that Mercury, which is in its retrograde cycle, is going to make a square over to Mars in Taurus. And for you, Libra, that's in your 8th house of sex, taxes, death, transformation, things unseen, lump sums, other people's money, and joint ventures. So there's something there with the Mercury, the messenger planet, and Mars, the warrior planet. They're going to be irritated that day. There could be some aggressive arguments. But that Venus-Jupiter alignment really does produce some fantastic romantic energies. So, and it could be very over the top, but it could also be, some arguments in there too. Valentine's Day, February 13th through the 14th, retrograde Mercury is going to align with Venus this day. So the heart and the mind are aligned. And Mars will be making a sextile over to Neptune in Pisces. So this day, there's a transcendent of egos. You kind of let go of the ego this day. You're making decisions based on what's in the heart. The heart and the mind are aligned. It's great for artists. It's great for expressing your individuality within a relationship and how the two intermingle between each other. So overall, it's a pretty good day. The headline, though, for February is going to be February 17th, and there's going to be a square between Saturn and Uranus, and this is going to happen 3 times over the year. It's going to be in February, in June, and in December. And these are 2 titans of the sky. When these 2 meet up together and they co-rule Aquarius, we can see some natural disasters. It could be an earthquake. It could be in a volcano. Saturn rules the earth. Uranus rules the sky. When the 2 clash, you can see where these energies produce shattered reality, shock and awe. Saturn is the old guard, it's the past, it's structures, it's government, it's the economy. Uranus is the future, it's the collective, it's humanitarian effort. So you can see how this might play out on February 17th during this impeachment trial. Just going to say this. Saturn is in its dignified sign, and Uranus is in a state of detriment in Taurus. So old guard might win out, but there's like this weird push and pull here. So it might be a stalemate. We'll see. February 15th through the 21st is when we're really going to start feeling this energy play out. Shattered reality. Structures versus freedom versus rebellion, old guard versus new guard. That's really when this all is going to start taking place. But February 17th is the exact date of this square. Last, I want to talk about February 19th. Venus is going to make a square over to Mars. So Venus sitting in Aquarius, Mars sitting in Taurus. This can be tidal waves of sexual energy and also sexual tension. So this could go one of 2 ways. It's the divine lovers, right? Venus is the divine feminine. Mars is the divine masculine. They're both passionate lovers. They're also both passionate warriors. So maybe there's some makeup sex happening this day. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm thinking, there's going to be tidal waves of sexual energy that day. So those are the big days you're going to want to keep in mind, Libra. But like I said, a lot happening in that 5th house of romance and a lot happening in that 8th house The 8th house is also karmic debts that have to be paid. The 5th house is karmic credit. So it's going to feel like a push and pull of some type for you, Libra, especially because that's hitting your romance and sex houses. So let's see what's happening for you. I'm going to pull some angel cards, one angel card, and then we're going to clarify with the tarot. Keep in mind, this is a general reading. The messages will not resonate with all of you. Take a look at your ascendant, your moon, and your Venus sign. Depending on what's happening in your natal chart, it might resonate with you more. All right, so Libra, let's see what's going on. Trust. The situation is calling for you to have faith. Trust. Interesting card. That 8th house is very intense, by the way. Your 8th house is Taurus, so it's the most intense house of the zodiac. It could be just, going through some intensity. So, and it requires trust. Trust in yourself, trust in others. That's really what the 8th house kind of comes down to. So let's see what's happening for you. Here we go. King of Swords, that's you. Wow. Trust yourself. Yup. The Hanged Man. Feeling in suspense about something, huh? Ooh, Tower. Okay. We'll talk about this. 3 of Wands. 10 of Swords. Ooh. Libra. 5 of Pentacles. Okay. Ugh. Okay, so like I said, that 8th house is... Okay, so let me do a little bit more explaining. The 8th house is ruled by Scorpio. Scorpio is things unseen. It is the underworld. It is the death and rebirth process. Things come to an end unexpectedly, and it can be quite intense. And that's what this Tower moment is, okay? The Tower comes in and strikes things down that are not built on a solid foundation. And this has to do with karmic debt as well. So something here just is not built on a solid foundation, and it needs to come to an end. It can be quite sudden. This is Uranus, shock and awe. You may have actually seen this coming. Maybe you were in suspense and you weren't really sure what to do. You do have a tendency, Libra, to have paralysis by analysis and not making decisions. And sometimes by doing this and being cold and not making a decision, because this is your card, the universe comes in and says, enough, this is done. You need to have trust that if you're going through a tough situation, if you've already had the Tower moment, trust that the universe is guiding you toward a higher path, whenever a door closes, a window opens, right? This is what that means. The Lovers fell out of the Tower. Something wasn't built on a solid foundation. You need to have trust. This is also the Jesus card, by the way. And have trust that the universe knows what it's doing. It's taking things out to put you on a higher path. It could have been a hard decision, too. This is also a decisive card. Maybe you made this decision that something just needed to end, that wasn't working out. But a Tower moment usually means the universe came in and just ended it. And you might be a little bit unemotional about it right now, or trying to keep your emotions in check. You're trying to maybe rationalize it. This is an air sign. This is you. Could also be dealing with a Libra, another Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius, but the rational mind here is trying to take over, but this actually comes down to spirituality. Like, the universe is just realigning you, okay? Now is the time to look out at the options of what comes next, Libra, okay? This is the man looking out at the ships that are coming in. You were probably waiting for something to come in here, excuse me. Waiting for your ships to come in, but it looks like it didn't pan out. But now you're looking at options. What options do you have left? You're looking out at the abyss. You're probably thinking, what the heck am I going to do now? And it looks like there could have been some betrayal involved. This is, this is the betrayal card. This is the man stabbed in the back. Maybe you found out about it recently. If this has already happened in the past, you need to trust your intuition. That's part of this too. But there was definitely some betrayal involved here. And unfortunately, it probably left you out in the cold, or someone else out in the cold. Five of Pentacles. Fives are difficult. This is calling for you to trust the situation, okay? Whenever I see a reading like this, I'm glad the angels gave you this card. Trust that the universe is leading you in the right direction. This was not built on a solid foundation. Lies, betrayal, no trust in relationships, not gonna work, okay? That's when you get left out in the cold. Or you leave someone else out in the cold, whichever it is for you. Let's pull a card for the outcome. Okay, so you're still going to be, you're obsessing about it. It's keeping you up at night. The 8th house is also a house of obsession because Pluto rules this. This is power dynamics. So, if you're going through an obsessive quality here, a good thing to do is to do some meditation. And I'm going to tell you how I deal with obsession. Whatever this situation is, write it down in excruciating detail. Okay, get the emotion out. Okay, I know you want to be rational, Libra, but in this case, I need you to tap into those emotions, write it out in excruciating detail, get those emotions out, okay? Write it down on paper, could be in a journal. Rip the pages out, rip it in as many different pieces as you possibly can, put it into something that you can light on fire and light the you-know-what on fire and burn it and be done with it, and then it's a release. And as it's burning, say, I release the situation, and say it over and over and over again until it's just ashes and it's done, okay? I want you to practice this. This is a releasing, healing energy. February 6th has some healing energy involved into it. That might be a good time. It's February 2nd. Give yourself a couple days. Don't send the letter, okay? Do not do that. That would be a mistake. But in this case, if you need to do some healing, and this is one very effective way, write it down, burn it in something that can be burned, and release it and continue to release that energy. I'm sorry, Libra, tough reading, but you're going to be okay. Universe is realigning you right now, and watch for obsessive thinking, do some meditation, and try out that healing practice. I think you'd be surprised just how effective it is. I wish you the best, Libra. We'll talk mid-month. Good luck.